So today we're going to be reacting to some of the conversation that I had with our CEO, Patrick Bet-David. Now, Patrick Bet-David, I would say, is mostly right most of the time. That means, nobody is right 100% of the time. What's the fun in that? But Patrick Bet-David had some things to say about Kamala Harris. Before she was sort of anointed, coronated to be the likely Democrat nominee for president. I think it's sort of inevitable. I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that Kamala is actually going to be the nominee? Biden has stepped down. We all know that. Is someone going to step in, or is she going to be the person who takes his place at the DNC in August? Alejandro, let's pull up this clip real quick. So here was the conversation I had with Patrick Bet-David. This was his theory. I said, listen, Pat, is it going to be Biden or not? This is, again, before Biden stepped down. This was about a week ago.
Yeah.
Here on the SOSCAST with our interview. It starts at 27 seconds. Go ahead. Here's the question I asked him. Go ahead. Candidate, but if you had to put your money on who is actually going to be the person at this point, after Biden announced I'm the guy, who's going to be there?
By the way, the only reason he'll stay the race till the very end, and this is embarrassing, the only reason he'll stay the race till the very end is because of one person, and one person only.
Timing.
It's because Kamala is not willing to step out of the way. And the establishment, the Democratic establishment behind closed doors, does not want to have Kamala as the candidate, period. Because her unfavorable score is not good. She is not marketable to be able to run with it. There's a group that wants to see her happen with the people that know the data. And I'm convinced, Obama's smart enough to know that Kamala's not the candidate. And Michelle was asked whether she is ready to endorse Joe. And I don't know if you saw her answer. Michelle's like, well, I don't know yet. We'll see. I don't know yet. That's not something you say to your former VP of your husband when he was a president. You don't say something like that. But she said, I don't know. So I think Biden is.
So there it was. I think what PBD recognized was the fact that Biden wasn't going to be the guy.
Yeah.
I was pretty steadfast that I thought Biden was going to be the guy until the Titanic hit the iceberg. So that debate with Donald Trump, I mean, could Biden have looked any worse? And could Trump have looked any better?
Could have been on the ground.
I mean, potentially yes. So PBD had some things to say about that. And then I said, but listen, don't forget, Pat, what do I always say? It's 3 letters, FTM.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. So I said, Pat, if you're a betting man, what do you think is actually going to happen? I know you said they don't want it to be Kamala, but let's put your money where your mouth is right here. And here's the question right there at 7:47.
Can we start it?
Will it be Biden?
You know what I would, when it comes down to vote on November 5th, will it be Biden? Honestly, I don't think they stand a chance keeping Biden in. I'm at 51%. It has to be somebody else.
I'm with you. I have a prediction, and then I'm going to ask you the next question.
You want me to continue playing?
No. But basically, he goes on to basically saying, listen, here's some of the ramifications of what's going to happen if it's Biden. Here's what's going to happen if it's not. At the end of the day, what's happening is, as we always say, follow the money. They had a war chest in line with Kamala right there. She is sort of being anointed. Now, here's the thing with Kamala. I don't know if people actually want Kamala. But here's what I know about the Democratic Party. They love themselves some DEI.
Yeah, they do.
They love themselves some DEI. They said,
they do.
Here's the thing with DEI. People get catapulted to positions they probably may not have earned.
Yeah.
That's kind of the whole thing with the DEI, the diversity, the equity, the inclusion. Because when, look, this is Kamala, and you're talking to somebody that voted for Joe Biden in 2020. By the way, a lot of people who voted for Joe Biden in 2020, who are basically not in the never Trump camp, now the Trump camp, are looking back and being like, yeah, I don't know about that. And by the way, do you know who one of the main people was? How about his VP pick, J.D. Vance? There's a lot of people out there that are like, yeah, I'm not messing with Trump. That was in 2016. And then even someone like Elon Musk, as soon as 2020, they weren't on Team Biden. But what's happened to the Democratic Party, they've gone so far left, they've gone so far woke, they've gone so far DEI that you have moderates, people in the middle with, ready for this thing right here? Common sense. You know, they said that common sense ain't that common these days.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, sorry, man, I wasn't the biggest fan of Trump, but this, no. Can't do it. I can't do Kamala. It's not going to happen. Because when Kamala came into the public office, she was the Attorney General in California. She was sort of doing a thing with the mayor of San Francisco. His guy's name was Willie Brown.
Willie Brown.
Hey, you know, always say Brown.
Never
and we'll let you down.
down.
There it is right there. Thank you, Nati.
Thanks.
And then she ran for the Senate seat in 2016. It was sort of a coronation there because I think she took the seat of a lady called Barbara Boxer.
Barbara.
They said, come on in, you're going to have this seat. And then in 2020, she actually ran for president. It's not that long ago. Do you remember she ran for president? She got a whopping 1% of the vote in the Democratic Party. But then Biden, who she basically dissed on the campaign, on the debate stage, she talked to you, and I was that little girl they were bussing around, and it was you, Joe. And then he had to select her because it was a list of basically 3 African-American women that he had to choose from, and he chose her to be his VP. She's been a steadfast, loyal VP. I don't know what she's done. You know, Nikki Haley said, listen, she had one job as vice president. That was to protect the southern border. How'd that work out? Okay, not so good. Imagine if she has the keys to the castle. This is not a good situation right here. So, you know, a lot of people throw out DEI as sort of a buzzword. I actually think that Kamala Harris is DEI. And now, in 2024, if Joe Biden could just walk, talk, and chew gum at the same time, he'd be the nominee. He can't even do that. And now Kamala is being thrusted into position to potentially beat Donald Trump. Now, Trump, listen. If you can't beat Kamala, then maybe you don't deserve to be president, because I think that Trump should be the heavy favorite here. Why do I talk like Trump now? I don't know. Just fun to do. But I think Trump should, will, and shall trounce Kamala. We'll see this. You know, they went around talking to people on the streets. Hey, what do you think of Kamala? What do you think about going on the Joe? It's a bunch of different people right here. By the way, she raised about $80 million in 24 hours after they announced that Biden announced that he's, you know, stepping down. Kamala might be stepping in. It's not necessarily official yet, but I think it's pretty official. She's already been endorsed by Pelosi, by Hakeem Jeffries, by even Gavin Newsom, even Biden, obviously, and Obama behind the scenes doing some things. But they went there on these streets interviewing some people. Here's how some average people walking around, what they have to think about Kamala Harris. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not that shocked. I mean, with his dementia, I knew that his Democrats were going to push him out. But I don't think Kamala has a chance to beat Trump.
Well, in a lot of ways, I think it's a good thing because
New York.
I don't think he's competent, and I think he's shown that. What I don't like about it is who's going to supersede him. Kamala Harris? Not a fan. Not a fan.
I do think that there's bias out there. There's no doubt. There's racism, there's sexism. But right now, we did it before with Barack Obama. No one thought that someone with his name and a black man could get elected president. And look what he did. And we're at a place in our country where people want something new and fresh. They want someone who can do the job. Kamala is both tough, but also she is a woman, and she's been out there on abortion rights, making sure that we can keep our rights as women to be able to make choices with our own body. And we just are going to I think that there's so many young people that are totally great with having a woman president.
I think she reminds me of like.
Cool. So there it was right there. You know, they interviewed a bunch of average people. Of course, the lady in the pink hair.
Yeah.
She went. It's just like this is actually upsetting to me, because look, my family, we were JFK Democrats. My dad loved JFK. JFK straight up would be a moderate Republican at this point. Bobby Kennedy, someone that we've spent time with, enjoy this guy. He was kicked out of the Democratic Party. Joe Manchin, this was a guy when PBD brought me in 2020. He said, who's your guy? I said, I don't really have a guy. I don't look at politicians like heroes. I know a lot of people look at Trump as a hero. Cool, I get it. He's an anomaly. but I don't really look at politicians as heroes because they've never really built anything. They've gone to school. A lot of them are lawyers, political elite, the establishment class. But I like this guy named Joe Manchin. Why? Because he's a Democrat in the reddest state in the Union, West Virginia. So you got to be pretty reasonable, sensible, and pragmatic to get elected to Senate year after year after year in West Virginia. But then here's the type of guy who also, as of about 3-6 months ago, leaves the Democratic Party and becomes an independent. Now, I've been a registered independent my entire life.
Me too.
But I've been, you too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you were kind of an Obama gal.
But I was still independent.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I'm independent.
But even then, you were an Obama gal, but now you're voting for Trump?
I'm Trump.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm Trump girl now.
Okay, you can speak into the mic. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm here.
But it's why I'm so upset with the Democratic Party because they moved so far left. They've abandoned people like me who are reasonable in the middle. I just can't do it because at the end of the day, I believe in DEI. No, I believe in MEI. Merit, excellence, and intelligence. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Not exactly what wins games these times. So here's my point. If your number one issue is abortion, vote Democrat.
Yeah. Just go.
If your number one issue is the economy, vote Trump.
Yes.
If your number two issue is the climate, vote Democrat. If your number two issue is the border, vote Trump. If your number three issue is DEI, vote Kamala Harris.
Just go.
If your number three issue is the safety and security of America, then you got to vote Trump. I'll let you guys make that selection right there, but it's becoming abundantly clear what's going on in the Democratic Party. It is being hijacked by DEI, and here's their poster child for DEI, the lovely cackling Kamala Harris.
Cackling.
Enjoy your vote, guys. Are you coming to the vault? Oh, what's the vault? You know about the vault? The vault is the ultimate event for entrepreneurs to level up their game and learn from the best in the game. Last year, we had Tom Brady and Mike Tyson, and I said to our CEO, Patrick Bet-David, I said, how are we gonna top that? He said, how we're gonna top that? How about The Rock? So this year, Patrick Bet-David went out and got Dwayne The Rock Johnson. So he's gonna be there along with PBD, the Biz Doc, and me. Yeah, if you want to join us at the Vault Conference, check out thevaultconference.com. It's going down in West Palm Beach, September 4th through 7th. If you want to make more money, improve your business, and expand your network, you have to be at the Vault. We'll see you there. Oh, you like that? Well, if you want to see more of that, check out this clip right here. And if you want even more, check out this clip right here, only on the SOSCAST.